Some social videos are powerful, and some make the world stop and listen. Aaliyah Zellis. 2024 was a transformative year for me. I'm not claiming to be the most popular or advanced when it comes to my social media and my social media presence and promotions, but have I gotten progress and growth from when I first started? Yes, I have. I too used to think that social media was all about the sound bites and the trends, but I actually learned that it's actually about what social media was created for in the first place. It's about the creativity, the ability to connect with people, and honing in on who you are and what makes you unique. In this video, we're going to specifically focus on my TikTok and my YouTube performance, since those are specifically the platforms that I consistently post on. And since my goal is to create more content that grows in audience and that people engage with, I'm mostly going to focus on the analytics of the content that most people liked, saved, shared, and that produced new followers or had previous followers continue to come back to my pages and my platforms. Let's start with TikTok. First is my hauntingly effective book promo that is more than just a book promo. Apparently, if you mix whimsy with just enough menace, people can't resist. This is my Indigenous Peoples Day book sale video that also doubles as a day in the life of a dark fantasy author video. It's a very dramatic and kind of relatable video since it is a day in the life of video with just my own flair and twist to it as a dark fantasy author, and you don't even realize that it's a book promo until the end of the video. This video got over 6,000 views, 1,700 likes, 230 shares, 207 bookmarks, and over 428 new followers, as well as 175 comments. Like I said, I'm not a huge content creator, and 2024 was my year of actually learning TikTok and learning how to work it. And I started from less than 40 followers, so this was a pretty big deal for me. I believe people like this video because it was a dramatization of my dark fantasy persona, and there are a lot of people who either outwardly or inwardly that can relate to the dry humor and pessimistic outlook of it all, or just enjoyed it and found it fun and entertaining. Many comments were that they liked my vibe and it reminded them of Wednesday Addams if she was an author, and that made it overall entertaining. There was a humorous element to it, so the comments were flooded with a lot of people quoting what they found funny and how much they loved it. And then I had comments that people enjoyed the video so much that they wanted to check out my books. And this is the moment I realized that storytelling doesn't stop at the book. It extends to how you sell it. A good book promo isn't just telling people to buy, it's telling a story they can't ignore. Moral of the story, make them feel something before they even know what you sell. Then we have my villain era. Who knew villainous productivity would be so relatable? Turns out, people love seeing an author fully embrace their dark side while romanticizing discipline. This is the video that really blew up for me and turned into a series on my TikTok. So not only this video, but also parts 2 and 4 of this series are some of the videos that have the most engagement and best performance. This video has 16,000 views. It's gotten me over 1,100 new followers, 3,800 likes, 300 shares, over 500 bookmarks, and over 550 comments. So this was huge for me. I think people liked this video because it was a whole story. It was cinematic, it was creative. I had people asking for part 2 in the comments, and there was never originally going to be a part 2. They bullied me into it. Also, it was unusual for people to meet an author in this way. It was a completely different way to promote myself in the space as an indie author, creating a video dramatizing my life as a dark fantasy author. It combined fantasy and reality, and it showed my writing in a different light without anyone even reading my books yet. They were hooked on the story of me being an author without even introducing the books that I write. But once they knew I was an author, they wanted to know where the books were. Again, with part 2 and 4 of this series, it was a continuation of the entire story, so people echoed the same sentiments as in the first video. Lesson: give them entertainment and value. Whether that's writing tips, productivity, or simply permission to be extra. Especially being a fiction author, your business is in entertainment. So showing that entertainment element can really reflect well on your writing. Number 3 are the videos when I read my own dark fantasy stories dramatically. Nothing gets readers invested than hearing the story the way it's meant to be told. Turns out my most liked videos and the ones that got me new followers were the videos to where I was the narrator of my own stories. I think that this works exceptionally well if you're a good storyteller or narrator. The only drawback with this is that it attracted a lot of audiobook listeners. So if your book isn't in audiobook format yet, some of the audience may be a bit disappointed because they were drawn to your story audibly. I think what people liked about these videos is that it's clean, traditional storytelling. But I also think what made these different is that I didn't just read straight from the book and the passages. I narrated what the book was about and the interesting things about the book as if I was just telling you about it instead of reading it verbatim. What's great about telling what the book is about instead of just narrating the pages directly is that it sounds more natural and you don't have to give away every single detail about the story. The audience can get a more well-rounded idea of what the book is about. Plus, you could even have the opportunity to spill some tea on the characters and say things about the characters that aren't directly in the book but is interesting and can overall make the difference of what attracts people to your book. For example, when I did my video, Meet the Crones, for my novel Crones, I was able to introduce the Crones one by one, their ages, what their magic powers were, and some lore on why they were the way that they were and how they got there. And those are things that are not directly in the book, but are overall intriguing to new readers and makes them more curious about these characters and their world. I also suggest rewriting your scripts for your socials in a way that comes off more natural when you're talking. Sometimes when we read directly from our work, we may have characters that come off well on the page because readers are able to read them and imagine them in their heads. But as authors, reading it and trying to portray that character ourselves may not come off as well as it was intended to. Unless you're a professional voice actor or can pull it off, do your thing. So I find it much better to rewrite whatever passage or thing that I'm talking about specifically from the book so it comes off as more natural and fits my natural speaking voice, so I sound more like someone who's just telling you about an interesting book rather than someone who's just reading directly from a book. So if you're an author, read your damn book. Actively tell others what it's about and the interesting things about it, but make it theatrical or just engaging and entertaining. Now for YouTube. Since my best performing things on my YouTube are my shorts, and my shorts are just repurposed content from my TikToks, the analytics are very similar. My day in the life of a dark fantasy author is one of the videos that grew my channel and had viewers actively coming back. Another day in the life of a dark fantasy author video also helped me grow my channel. This one was more like a full moon ritual. It was very fun and entertaining and more so about my persona as a dark fantasy author rather than me just trying to directly sell books. And some of my Crones book promos where I narrated directly what the book was about and some interesting things about the book and why they may want to check the story out, those did well. Clearly, TikTok is my main driving force for engagement at the moment, but I don't sleep on YouTube. So, what's the real secret behind powerful social media growth and book promotions? So far, here's my personal insight. A strong hook to your video, cinematic storytelling or just clean and engaging storytelling, passion and personality. Find that thing that makes you really stand out as an author and just fully embody it. For example, I'm a dark fantasy author and I do dark fantasy shit. A touch of intrigue and mystery. Even if your books or what you offer isn't directly a mystery, you should be portraying your work in a way that leaves people curious and wanting more. That could be cliffhangers, but don't overdo it. It could also be just letting your audience know the most titillating and interesting things about your story while still letting it be known that there's way more to discover than what you're sharing. If 2024 taught me anything, it's taught me that selling books isn't just marketing, it's storytelling. And in 2025, the next story is just beginning.